So we're going to do a quick start training, and the way that I like to do a quick start training is if you are brand new and you wanted to walk out of here and you wanted to build a business, what do you need to do? But if you are, in Neo-Life and you've been doing it for a while, what do you need to do exactly the same thing and freshen up on? So this is a quick start training, but no matter how long you've been doing it, if you'll follow these steps, it really will make your business go forward. So like Nat has been doing it forever, and if she does these steps, it'll move her business forward from where it is now. It's almost like a restart every time. So I like to train through the 6 Ps. Whit does it a little differently, so you'll definitely want to have like both of it recorded somewhere because Whit's is way better, but he's not here today, so you can make it. Okay, the first P is purpose. So I want to make sure that you all don't think that this is flowery and fluffy. And when I ask you what your purpose is, it doesn't have to be to solve world hunger. It doesn't even have to be to pay off all of my debt. It doesn't have to be, I want to help everyone that I know, like live a healthier, happier life. All of those are great. But your purpose has to be something that's going to get you off the couch to do something that you're uncomfortable with. And if you don't have a purpose that is big enough to get you up off the couch to do something you're uncomfortable with, then it's really not your purpose. So I have heard my whole life, if your why is big enough, the how becomes easy. I do not think that is true. I think if the why is big enough, the how becomes worth it. So think about it this way. If your kids were in a burning building, you are going to run in to get them because they're in there. Is that going to be easy? Absolutely not. It is going to be worth it. So you want to make sure that you're not believing that building this business is going to be easy, but it should be simple. So everything about it should be simple. If you ever run into anything and it's complicated, ask someone that's been doing it and see if a little bit longer and see if we can decomplicate it. If there's, Neo-Life's been around 65 years. There are definitely some things that were very streamlined in 1958 that are not as streamlined today with all of our technology. So anytime we can make things more simple and more streamlined, we want to. So let us know when you find those things that grind your gears. So I just want to give you a second to think about it. What is your purpose? So just start thinking through it. If you know it, that's great. But what on a Saturday is going to get you up off the couch to go and like make 3 phone calls to somebody that you really do not want to check back in with? What is something that is going to get you on a call on a Tuesday night after you've worked all day because you know that you need to be around the fire? What is it that is worth it to you? And then it's got to be very specific. So we talk about SMART goals and all that stuff. This just has to be so specific that you're going to tell somebody. So you're going to figure this out, and you're going to tag somebody, and you're going to tell them. But it has to be something so specific that when I call, like for instance, I'm going to give you an example to kind of broaden your mind, if you don't mind. When we were building our business, there was somebody that came to us and they said they wanted to build a business. And I said, okay, awesome. And rewind, this is what you should be doing with all of your new promoters. So do it for yourself, but you need to walk all of your new promoters through the same thing. So asking them what their purpose is. She came in, she said she needed to make money, and I was like, awesome, we all need to make money. But like, what specifically for? And she was like, well, we just need money. That's what, it's gonna happen over and over again. And I said, okay, what amount of money would make a difference in your life? So if you're taking notes, you need to keep digging in. It actually takes asking the same thing 3 times in 3 different ways before people are gonna tell you the truth, which is awesome. Like, it's fascinating when you see people say, like, how are you? Oh, great. How are you? I'm doing good. But Laura Mae, how are you? Okay, like, I'm a little stressed. How many times has that happened in your life? I'm good. I'm okay. Okay, I'm stressed. It takes 3 times. So we're gonna say, what is it that you're doing this for? So another level of it is, what amount of money would make a difference in your life right now? You're gonna get a lot of answers like, any amount of money. And you're like, okay, but specifically, like, if you made $50 this month, would that matter to you? Because maybe it would, maybe it's not enough. So you say, if at the end of this month, if you made $100, would that be enough for you to come back next month and do it all over again? Maybe not. Okay, maybe it needs to be $200. Okay, so we've settled on right? $250 at the end of this month is gonna make a difference to your family, enough for you to do it all over again next month. Is that right? Right. You're just talking back and forth. This person that came in to me said she needed to make money. We asked her several times. We finally got down to what would make a difference. And she said, Christmas is coming up, and I have 2 girls, and they both want American Girl dolls. And those things are expensive. I don't know if you guys have Canadian Girl dolls, but these things are super expensive. Like $199 for these dolls. And then you have to get paraphernalia. Like you gotta get clothes and shoes, but they're so expensive. And I did get one for my daughter, but not until after I started building a business and bringing in extra income. She never had one before that. So she said they both want American Girl dolls, and as it stands right now, we cannot afford to get it for both of them. So we're gonna have to get the Target version. Now, let me throw a disclaimer out there. The Target version is fine. It looks just like the other one. They have cute little clothes. It's gonna save you a whole lot of money. However, these girls really wanted American Girl dolls, and this mom wanted to make their dream come true, because she also wanted to take them to the American Girl doll factory, and where you go in and you get to get your hair done, and so does your doll. And you get to sit down and have lunch, and they have their own chair. And you get to buy a new outfit that matches your doll. So they had this whole experience planned out, and she knew she was not gonna be able to afford it. So I said, okay, is that, if you make $500, is that what you're gonna do with it? She said, absolutely. I'm putting the $500 towards making their Christmas dream come true. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna be right beside you every step of the way. If you stop, I have to stop. Like, I can't go out into your market and do it for you, which is exactly what I, Ashley Peebles, want to do for all of you in Canada. I want to go do it for you, but I can't. But when you bring people in and you let us help you with third-party credibility, we virtually can. When you introduce NADA to your friends and family, have you ever noticed that they tend to get started? Mm-hmm. We need to do that a little bit more, right? Use me, utilize WIT. So I said, I'll be with you every step of the way. Let's lock arms. So she got started. She was putting me on 3-way calls. She was bringing people to what we, like in-home events that we had, doing great. But you know, a week after, she got frustrated because it wasn't working fast enough. And I said, is it still, are those American Girl dolls still worth it? And she said, you're right. I need to get back to work. It was working. What I did last week at the in-person event is working. I'm going to invite some more people this week. We checked in the 3rd week, and I didn't call and say, hey, are you working? I didn't call and say, hey, how's it going? I called and said, how much closer are we to those American Girl dolls? If they know their purpose and you know their purpose, you can lead effectively. But if you don't know their purpose and you call them and say, hey, how's it going? They're gonna feel like you're calling and saying, hey, why aren't you doing anything? Hey, how much volume have you put in? Are you gonna hit 500 this month? You've gotta know their purpose in order to make those phone calls. The purpose is the permission to make those phone calls. So I want you to think, what is your American Girl doll? What is it that if you could pay your phone bill every month, the rest of the year, if your phone was free the rest of the year from your regular budget, would that be something? Would it be your cable bill? Because if you have cable, it's very expensive these days, if you've got Dish or something. If you could fill up your tank with gas every single month for 12 months for free, is that worth it? Figure out what's worth it. And then you have to name your money. So part of the purpose, if you're taking notes, is naming the money. When you let a paycheck come into your bank account and it doesn't have a name, and they make $30 or they make $70, it gets lost in the rest of the money. Now, you don't even have to have a lot for $70 to get lost or $30 to get lost. It has to have a name so that when they get paid $70, you can call and say, you're $70 closer to those American Girl dolls. All we need is $430 if I did my math right in public. That always makes me a little nervous. I should have gone with 100. Okay, but now, let's say they made $100. You're only $400 away from those American Girl dolls. Let's go do what you just did 4 more times. They have to know what they want, you have to know what you want, and then you have to count the money for them. Don't say, you got paid today! Say, how much did you get? If you can't see it, how much did you get paid today? $100? Elaine, you made $100 today. She is $100 closer to whatever her purpose is. And your purpose doesn't have to be grandiose. It can be, you know what, my first purpose is I want to pay my phone bill. And then I want to pay the phone and cable. And then I want to pay the phone, cable, my insurance. Phone, cable, insurance, car. And if you grow it like that, instead of saying, my goal is to make $5,000 this month, you may make $5,000 this month. But if that's not the lowest common denominator, that is not the smallest increment that would make a difference in your life, then you're missing out on joy along the way and you're adding frustration in. So you have to take it down to what would make a difference in your life and what would make you do it again the next month. Okay, so that's purpose, and there's questions that you ask along the way yourself, and then ask them of the people in front of you. Okay, the second P is products. Make sure, this is twofold. It is one, you need to be a product of the product. This is something that we had to preach a lot in the company that I sort of grew up in. We do not have to preach being a product of the product in Neolife. You guys love all the products. You take all the products. And I actually have to pull you off of talking about all of the products. I went to someone's house one night and they opened up their Neolife cabinet. Everyone that's been doing this for 30 years, don't open up your Neolife cabinet. It looks like you're gonna die if you do not take all of those white bottles. Like, it looks way overwhelming and it looks way confusing. It looks way expensive. Do not overwhelm them with that. Even if you know somebody has a set something that they're wanting to take care of and you know 5 products are gonna take care of it, you cannot overload that new person with 5 products right away. You have to start with, hey, let's talk about what amount of money is comfortable for you to set aside this month to take care of this. Don't go to the 5 products. What amount of money is comfortable in your budget for you to set aside this month to take care of it? They may blow your mind. Some people are going to say $50, but some people are going to say, I know it's not a lot, but I've got $250. And you're like, oh, we're great. We can get you started on all 5 things that you need to get started on. You have to ask them in order to match it. Otherwise, if their budget is $50 and you tell them 5 products, they lose all hope. They're not going to get started on anything. So be a product of the product. Take your products yourself, because if you don't know what they do and they're not doing anything in your life, you're not going to be able to help other people. And if your story has gotten stale, then you need to build a new story. So maybe you're telling a story from 30 years ago about how, Trianon saved your life. Let's build a new story with Elevate. Build a new story with Upbeat. Let's build a story, a fresh story that gets you excited. And we have a NeoFit 90 program that everyone in here can enter for free. The quickest way to build an exciting new story is to pick something you want to work on, match it with the right products, enroll into the free NeoFit 90 program, use the accountability, use the tools, get a free t-shirt, win some money in 3 months. Because then you can say, hey, I've been doing this 30 years. And I just won a 90-day challenge. It is absolutely 100% worth it. So the first half of the products is be a product of the product. The second half of the products, when you're coaching someone through, is help them understand the core 3 products. They do not need to understand what all 65 plus products do. That's overwhelming. And if you send them out to learn about Neolife, and learn everything before they share with anyone, they will die before they ever know everything about Neolife products. Nada still learns things every day about these products. She's like, oh, it's amazing. So we want to teach them the basics about not the ingredients, but how to share the core 3 products. The core 3 products are Pro Vitality, Shakes, and Elevate. You're going to learn so much more about this at Impact Summit. You do not want to miss it. We've got some really special things coming out. But they need to know how to share those core 3 products, why they're different, and what they do in life. If somebody is looking for help, better help, those 3 products. Someone's looking for weight loss, those 3 products. Someone's looking for better performance in the gym, those 3 products. Can you add on? Absolutely. But you want to start by explaining that those are the core 3 products for anyone, no matter the goal that they have. Can they streamline down to just Shakes and Pro Vitality? Sure, if that's what fits their budget. Can they streamline down to just Pro Vitality? Sure. But then you're looking at a good, better, best. It's good to get started on Pro Vitality. Knock yourself out. This is the reason why you want to get started on Pro Vitality. This is how you share it with other people when you turn around and talk. This is better. This is Pro Vitality and shakes. That's our breakfast solution. This is how you talk about Pro Vitality. This is how you talk about shakes. This is how you share it. But the best way to get started is Pro Vitality, shakes, and elevate. This is how you get started, how you take it, and how you talk to other people about it. You can add anything above and beyond there. You always want to let the new person know that people are going to do what you did, or maybe a little less. But rarely do people get started doing more than you did. So if you want to build this business, it is a great decision, if you can financially afford it and it fits into your budget, to get started on the core 3 products. So then, when someone like Shawn is getting started and she's like, okay, I don't know anything about this, but I want to get healthier. What did you do? I can say, I got started on the core 3. Now, I would recommend, if you have it in your budget, to add in an extra bottle of salmon oil and Trianin. Easy add-on, but what did I do? I got started on the core 3. It's an easy sell. If you only got started on Pro Vitality when you got started, when people ask you, you're going to say only Pro Vitality. So now, we're going to change up that verbiage a little bit. If that is really what happened to you, you're going to say, okay, when I got started, we really only had Pro Vitality, and it was all that I could do. It made a difference in my life. But if we're looking at a good, better, best approach, the best approach is to get started on the core 3 products. See, it's a much stronger message than just saying, well, I only got started on Pro Vitality, with a period at the end. So, be a product of the product, but also know the core 3 products and know how to share them. So, you're going to put them in your body, and then you're going to build a story around those products. That's the second P. Okay, the third P is packaging your story. So, everyone thinks that when they get started, they don't have a story because you just got started. John came here today, his first Neolife event, and he stood up in front of all of you and he shared his story. Everyone has a story because there's a reason that you made it in this room. The reason that he came in this room is because someone approached him and they were talking about Neolife. He was like, I know GNLD from Kenya. Did you know that they have a product in Kenya that does this and improved our quality of life? First Neolife event already has a story. If someone else is in here and this was your first event, what Lucas shared for the first time today in front of everyone, what was his story? Look, Mom's taken the products forever. She and Nana told me to take them. I finally did. They worked. Shocker. Everybody has a story. If we met you in the parking lot and you came in, what was it that we said in the parking lot that brought you in? That's your story. If you're, and I don't even care if it's like, I don't know, these 2 women talked to me and they scared me and they wanted to bring me in. And I was like, okay, you guys are a little frightening, so I made it. That can be your story because when you got in here, you decided that this was something special, or you wouldn't be sharing your story because you wouldn't be a promoter, right? Whatever your story is, everyone has one. It does not have to include a lot of money. And as a matter of fact, any amount of money that you share, over $250 to $500, doesn't seem believable or attainable. I never, in a meeting with someone new and getting started, would share an amount of money over $1,000 a month, because they don't believe it can happen anyway. We were making life-changing income. And everyone on our team would think, well, I can't recruit like you because I can't tell them I make that much money. And I'm like, we don't tell them we make that much money. We tell them that when we got started, my first check was $79. And I was like, oh my goodness, I got paid $79 for that. What if I do that twice? And I make whatever 79 plus 2 is, times 2. I messed all that up. And then what if I do it 3 times? And what if I do it 4 times? We don't tell them what we make now, unless they say, what can this business do for me? Now, what can it do for you? Above and beyond what you've probably ever imagined. But what will it do for you in the meantime? It will do whatever you want it to do, according to the amount of action and effort that you put in. So do not think that you're making an amount of money that is too low to share. Had someone last month say, I don't know, I don't share my income because I only make $1,400 a month. And I'm like, you do realize that that is way above what someone would consider a great part-time income. $250 in the US is enough money to save the average family from bankruptcy. $250 extra dollars a month can save the average family from bankruptcy. I don't know what it is in Canada, I'm sorry. That's extraordinary. You can make $250 a month here in Neolife with honestly putting the products in your body and sharing with a few people, coaching them through and keeping them on products. So this isn't like you need to know 10,000 people to help somebody, save their family from bankruptcy. So when you're packaging your story, it just needs to be short, it needs to be to the point, but it needs to be relevant to the person that you're talking to. If somebody wants to lose weight, I'm not going to be talking to them about, oh my goodness, we have this product and it blah, 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 does this for your pinky toe. You want to share a story that's yours or someone you know based around what their goal is. Look, I'm not sure what you've tried before, but I helped my mom lose, 30 pounds and go down 6 dress sizes. It didn't have to be me that lost the weight. It could be my mom who lost the weight and went down 6 dress sizes. It didn't have to be me who I came back from debilitating fatigue. It could be my friend. So you're going to package your story around really 4 simple key components. Where you were, not physically on the couch eating Cheetos, but like where you were in life. And you don't have to start your story this way, but just for an instance, it's like, when Neolife came into my life, I was overworked, underpaid, and honestly, I was a little moody all the time, right? That's where I was. What you saw? Well, I saw a friend who has this, a similar background than me, that was looking amazing. She had incredible energy, and she told me she was making money by achieving her own goals. That's where I was, what I saw, what I did. I immediately got started on the same products that she was on, and I did everything that she told me to. All right, so where you were, what you saw, what you did, and then where you're going. I'm never going to stop taking these products. I feel better than I ever have. I shared them with a few friends, and this month I was able to pay my car payment. What you did and where you're going. You can cast a bigger vision if you want, but if you just stick to those simple, like the simple framework, another simple framework, if that doesn't work for you, is what was your struggle? What was your solution? Or what's the third S? It just flew out my other ear. Your struggle, your solution, your success. Oh, there it is. Came back in, flew back around into my other ear. Your struggle, I was overweight, and easy. I was overweight, and I tried everything under the sun to lose weight. Your solution, I got started on the weight loss solution. I lost 44 pounds in 6 months, and now I can run a marathon. Probably not, but you know what I mean. I had tried everything that I could to lose weight. I got started on the weight loss solution, lost 44 pounds, success, and now I can run a marathon. I should show something else. Struggle, solution, success, fit it in there, right? Okay, packaging your story does not have to be anything major, big weight loss. It doesn't have to be anything major and big financially. Okay, the 4th P is people. And this is where you're going to make your, oh yes?
I just want to say I looked up and it says as of 2024, 45% of Canadians are $200 or less away from meeting their financial obligations and going into insolvency.
Will you screenshot that and send it to me? That would be great to add in. So just FYI guys, I built a business in the US. So like everything I'm saying, you notice I don't have notes. I've been doing this a long time. So like if I'm going to pull something out of my rear, it's going to be a US fact. I'm sorry. And that is what this is. All of this, no notes, I'm just tap dancing. So when I have stats that usually don't include Canada, it's not because I don't love you. I love you all way more than you could possibly imagine. And I would totally move here because everybody's so nice. Okay, 4th, people. It is a little cold. Okay, 4th, people. This is where you make your list. Okay, if I were to say right now, you do not have to raise your hands. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But you can raise your hand in your mind. Who is building a business here and has a written list of who they are talking to and want to talk to? Okay, you raised your hands in your mind, and here's the thing. A lot of you didn't raise your hands in your mind. I saw it, because we talk all the time. I know. Okay, so you have to have a written list. If it is not written down, it's just a wish. It's not a goal. It's just a dream. And we love dreams, and we love wishes, but if you want to achieve a goal, it's got to be written down. For your list is your working capital in Neolife. You need to know 2 things at all times. Who am I talking to now, and who am I going to talk to next? This list gets really overwhelming to people because you think, I've got to sit down and make a list of 100 people. You don't. You can. But if you know two simple things, who are you talking to now and who you're going to talk to next, it all gets really simple. But it's scary that a lot of people can't answer that right now. That's only two people. Who are you talking to right now? And who are you going to talk to next? It doesn't get any more simple than that, right? But let's talk about making a larger list so that you can weather some no's and you can weather some I didn't answer my phones and I'm not going to call you back. People are going to go what I have always called it, they go boneless. You talk to them and they're so excited, and then you text them and they just go boneless, like they ghost you. It happens to everyone for lots of different reasons. But let's talk about making your list, and let's use 5 categories because it's easy to remember. You are going to make a list yourself, and with all of your new people, you're going to sit down and do this in person. If you're not in person, you can do it over Zoom. Make a list of 10 people that you know that need to lose weight. Okay, I'm going to tell you this story. Nada is filming, so it's probably not something I should say on camera. At my first event that I hosted, it was terrible. We talked for like 2 hours, and everybody started. They all got started and ordered something because they were afraid if they didn't, I wouldn't stop talking. I talked all night. It was the worst event you've ever seen in your life. But I got up, and I'd been told to make a list of 10 people that need to lose weight. So what do I say in the front? I'm like, everybody knows 10 fat people. Come on. My husband climbed under the table. He was so embarrassed. I'm like, well, it's true. Everyone knows 10 people that need to lose weight. You probably know 10 times 10 that need to lose weight. This is the easiest list that you can make. 10 people you know that need to lose weight. Now, when we approach them, we're not going to say, hey, Tubby, you're on my weight loss list. But you do need to know 10 people that our weight loss solution can help. Okay? The next list of 10 people that you know that need to lose weight, 10 people that you know that need more energy. This is anybody that works or has children or is alive with a pulse and breathing. Easy list to make. So, weight loss, energy, 10 people that you know that are in the gym all the time anyway. Because if they're already in the gym, that means they're taking something, and we can do a ditch and switch for better, cleaner, healthier products. 10 people that are already in the gym anyway. You're not asking them to make a huge life change. This is a great crowd because you're not asking them to stop eating donuts. You're saying, hey, instead of drinking that pre-workout, drink ours, right? It's less commitment. Okay, your next list of 10 people that you know that need or want or like money. And that sounds like, oh, everybody. It's true. But there are specific people that are entrepreneurial minded, and you're like, oh man, they would love to work for themselves. There are people that own their own business that need a tax write-off. Huge crowd of people out there that are making plenty of money that would say yes to a side gig for tax benefits. People that you know have said, I've got to get an extra job in this economy. So 10 people that you know that need, want, or like money. And then your last list is your dream team. 10 people on your dream team. This is the 10 people that if you could get anyone to say yes, and you could work with anyone that you've ever met, you would choose to have them on your team. 10 people. You're going to reach out to each one of these lists differently. And so when you're sitting down with someone to make the list, you're going to tell them how you reach out to each list. For the weight loss, you're going to look at the name on the top of the weight loss list. Why do you know they need to lose weight? Is it because they posted something on Facebook about bathing suit season coming up and they're dreading it? Is it because you personally know that they've tried everything under the sun? Whatever it is, you're going to use that. Remember, no, hey, Tubby, you're on my weight loss list. It's like, hey, I saw you post on Facebook last week that you're dreading bikini season. I totally understand that life. Have you ever looked in a Neolife? Really simple introduction, right? Okay, for your energy people. Hey, I know that you love your coffee, and I will never tell you to stop drinking it. But have you ever looked into have you ever tried an Elevate? Let's just make it easy. You ever tried an Elevate? Really easy. Okay. Number 3, what energy, weight loss, gym. So you've got somebody that's in the gym, and they're on your gym list, and you say, hey, look, you are fitter than I could ever imagine to be. So I'm definitely not coming in and telling you what to do in the gym. But do you take any supplements when you work out? Oh, you got an intro. Okay, number 4, money. Okay, so you're talking to like your money list, and you're like, okay, I know that you are an entrepreneur and you love working for yourself. Have you ever thought about adding in a side gig? Or maybe it's somebody that you know has plenty of, or you think has plenty of money, you never know. But they already own their own business and maybe they work several jobs, but they're W-2 employees. Like, hey, I don't know that you like need money or anything, but do you have enough tax write-offs? If anybody says yes to that, they don't know what they're talking about. You never have enough tax write-offs. Okay, and then 5, your dream team. The way that you reach out to your dream team is this. Okay, Cindy, I really, I just love you. And I have what I call like my board of directors of my life, where I try to surround myself with people that are better than me in every aspect of life. I want better mothers, I want better wives, I want better speakers, better Christians, better leaders, better friends, because I want to know that the people in my life are better than me. And Cindy, you're on my board of directors. Like, you're on my list for being an extraordinary wife. And I also want to surround myself in business with the people that I want to be around. Like, the job that I do lets me choose the people that I work with. And I would give anything to be able to work with you. Now, I don't want to put any pressure on you at all. This may or may not be for you. But I just got started in a new business. Really excited about it. I think it's going to do incredible things for me and Daniel. But I would love for you just to hear about what I'm doing. So you think you could spare 15 or 20 minutes one night this week and I just tell you what we're doing. And then if it's not for you, I bet you know someone that it is. I'd be glad to help them just as if they were like my Cindy. Okay, if you invite someone like that and they tell you no, you need to kick them off of your top 10 list. You need to kick them off your board of directors. You're not going to go to somebody, the way that I used to tell people to find their first 3 people that they call. So you've got 50 people on those lists. I tell them to circle anyone that shows up more than once. If they're on money and weight loss and dream team, oh, we're talking to them first. Circle anybody that shows up more than once. If that gives you 3 people, great. If it doesn't, circle 3 people on the list that if you called them in the middle of the night because you were stranded on the side of the road, they would answer the phone. If they would answer the phone in the middle of the night, they are going to listen to you for 15 minutes about what you're excited about, what you just got started doing. It's just all in the way you approach it. It's all in the verbiage. It's not, hey, I want to sell you something. It's not, hey, I want to tell you all about Neolife. It's, I started something new. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to make a big difference in my life. Just want to tell you what I'm doing. They'll say yes. So you just helped your new promoter make a list of 50 people if they did 10 times 5. So that's awesome. But at the end of the day, if this is overwhelming, you can always fall back to who are you talking to now and who are you talking to next. You just need to get really specific about how you're talking to them now and about how you're talking to them next. Okay, the process. I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to share one more because the process is I hope I did not completely lose that slide. That would be so silly.
It's there.
Okay, I'll have to go back and find that. Okay, the process is the success system. This business never gets harder than this if you don't let it. If you ever have a moment where it's like, this is just too complicated, we're doing it wrong. It never gets more complicated than learning how to have a one-on-one conversation with people. But there is an art and there's a skill to that. You can learn how to do it and you can get better. It is not something that you're innately born with always, but it's something that you can get better at because it's a skill. So you need to learn how to have a one-on-one conversation. After that, in the success system, you're always adding another voice. You want them to hear another perspective. You want them to meet another person, and I'll explain why. So after a one-on-one, or you can jump straight to a 2-on-1, a 3-way call, a Zoom, a 3-way text message group. If you are in a one-on-one meeting and you're having a one-on-one conversation, you are trying to ask yourself, does this person want to hear more? If at the end of your one-on-one conversation, the answer is yes, they want to hear more, you're going to introduce them to somebody else because they need to hear more, but they need to hear more from someone else. So you add in a different voice, you add in a different person. This does not have to be your upline. It doesn't have to be the Queen of Canada, Nana herself. It can be anyone you know that is another voice in another story. It's awesome if it's a story that connects to them. Maybe they are young and they want to put on muscle. Link them up with Lucas. You do not have to be the leader of Canada in order to be someone in a third-party situation. And if you link people up, if you were smart about how you link them up, it never feels weird. It's like, you've got to meet my friend Ann. She's incredible. Her story reminds me of yours. Do you have like 10 minutes that we can chat with her this week? Doesn't have to be weird. Her story reminds me of yours. Okay? After that 2-on-1, it's, do they want to see more? Or, you know what, do they want to see more or learn more? Either one. If the answer is yes, I used to use learn more because we've kind of condensed this. Let's use learn more. Do they want to learn more after talking to my friend Ann? If the answer is yes, you're going to connect them to a virtual or in-person larger meeting, like we're doing here, like a Discover Neo-Life, like a Discover More, like a Canadian Health Talk, anything that you're doing, but you want them to hear more from different people and learn more so that there's more information shared. After that, you're asking yourself, okay, did they like everything that they just heard? Like, are they still in? Because if they are, then they need to feel more. And the only place you are gonna feel what Neo-Life is all about is at Impact Summit. You get to feel the energy from everybody all over both countries. You get to feel the why behind Neo-Life, from the founder's vision to the current CEO's vision. You get to see systems and strategies and new products, all sorts of stuff. But you will never be able to feel that virtually. You've got to get in person to Impact Summit. So this system really could be called the system of more. At every single circle, you're just asking yourself, do they want more? And you're going to give them more, but you're going to give them more by giving them more voices, more different voices. It does not have to be a weird, let me get you on a 3-way call with my sponsor. If you say that, it's probably not going to work as well, because that sounds weird. Okay, hold on, let me find this. Oh, grannies. I can't see it. That's too little. I'm sorry, guys. This was supposed to be seamless. Where did it go? Is it this one? No, not it. I'm sorry. Stay tuned. Got it. I think it closed out of it. I didn't leave it. Okay. So the 5th P was the process, and the process is, wait for it, is the success system. So that is how you get someone started. Okay, the 6th P and the last P is just plug in. You guys have an incredible system in Canada. You have calls multiple nights a week. We would love it if you were free and you could get on all of them. But if you can't, make it a goal to get on one of them. But you have to stay plugged in. It's like when you go to Impact Summit or you get on one of your Canadian calls. It's like plugging your phone into the wall to get charged up. You get charged up to 100%, but as soon as you disconnect from that Zoom and disconnect from the charger, your phone battery starts to die. And if you stay away from the vine long enough, you start to wither. It happens so often. So you've got to plug in any and everywhere you can, but when you're getting a new person started, you've got to plug them in. So you want to make sure that they're connected in a few ways at minimum. You want to make sure that they're connected to your local team in whatever way you gather, whether it's virtually or whether it is, in person. You want to make sure that they are connected to the larger team in any way, like a Neo-Life Facebook page, Healthy Living, something like that. And you want to make sure that they're connected to the corporate side. Not because we are going to give them anything that you don't have, but because that's where a lot of the excitement and incentives and announcements come from. So from the corporate side, if they're connected to the Neo-Life Business Builders Facebook page, that is where they're going to want to connect in or watch a replay, a 30-minute replay each week of our Leadership Live. Every week, we give you all of the what you need to know this week, most importantly, and we give you a training topic. But if they were only connected in 2 places, if they were connected to the Leadership Live, like the Facebook page or home base, but let's just say the Facebook page, and they were connected to your local events, that is minimum. They need to know what's going on in the area with your team. They need to have somebody to go to complain. They need to have somebody to go to ask questions. And then they need to see the larger vision of where Neo-Life Canada is headed. So that is it. It does not get any harder than this. You don't have